All right, guys, we're back. We've got 2 coats of spack on here. I let it dry overnight. And now we need to get it flush with the wall. There's 2 ways of doing that. One way, traditional, is with the sanding sponge. Works great, by the way. The problem with sanding sponge is it makes dust, it makes mess. How do we alleviate that? A sponge. Good old sponge. Sponge will take it down, make it nice and clean, and there's no mess to clean up afterwards. Just your sponge. Chunk the sponge. Okay, so I'm going to kind of show you guys this real quick so you can kind of see it. Sorry, there it is right there. It's got a little bit of a rough surface. It might be hard to see, but it's a little bit rough. You can't leave it like that because if you do, it'll stand out in the middle of a wall like that. So, all right. So I'm just going to take my sponge. And the key to this is when you think you need to do one more pass, don't do that pass, okay? All right, so I kind of work the edges. And then one nice little pass, I kind of fill it. Got a little bit of bump on that edge. All right. I think that's it, man. Looking good. So now what we got to do is we got to let the wall dry. And once the wall is dry, we're going to add our first coat of paint. Let that dry properly. Then we'll add our second coat of paint. And when we add our paint, we don't just put it in one little spot right here because we're in the middle of a wall. A lot of times what we would do is we would paint this whole wall, but for sakes of a homeowner, you kind of want to feather out your paint. So you start here and you just kind of give it a feathering effect with a roller. Or if you have a brush, you put it on and then you knock your lines down going the other way. Okay? All right. We'll get back to you. All right. So dried up, ready to go, ready to add paint. So I've got my roller here. I'm going to use a roller. It's got a very short nap on it. That's the length of the hairs on the roller cover. And the reason why is this is a really smooth wall. I don't want, the longer the nap, the more it's going to texturize the paint on the wall. So I've got a short nap on here. Now, if I had more texture, like an orange peel or a heavy orange peel or knockdowns especially, you can use heavier nap. As a matter of fact, you want to kind of get into the crevices of the wall. So we're going to get some paint on here and add a little bit of paint. All right, there it is. My roller is not cooperating. Sometimes new rollers don't, they kind of have like a stiffness to them. So I put the initial on and I'm going to slowly feather it out. And I kind of want to have like a roundness pattern whenever I'm finished with it. We don't really want anything too squared up. We don't want jagged edges because those might show up, especially in the middle of the wall like this when we're doing a touch-up. All right, first coat on. We're going to let that dry and we're going to put a second coat on. All right, guys, we just put on our second coat. We're good to go right here. Rounding off these edges. Again, I don't want to have any kind of squared up edges on a wall like that. It kind of helps hide that repair. It kind of helps whenever you're doing a touch-up because sometimes you can see a touch-up. And here's the key to a touch-up. When you're looking straight on, touch-ups almost always look good as long as you're using the exact same paint, the exact same sheen, the exact same color, of course. But one of the most important things is, you can see it straight on, it looks great. But the key is, this is a sidewall. You can kind of see behind me, there's a kitchen. So there's going to be people are going to be walking in here, and you can view from the side. Well, it's really important that whenever you do a touch-up, you can't see it from the side, because that's where you'll see all your touch-ups. And here we are. Let's look at it now. Boom. Looks awesome. So listen, if you need Scotty's Painting to do any of your painting needs, hit the Get Quote button at the bottom right here and give us a call. Fill out the application. We'll get a hold of you, and we'll come and meet your needs.